Yes.
Please, guys, make sure all your mic is muted. Please, we're gonna start in 1 minute. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Everybody type 77. 77, if you're excited and pumped ready for Chairman 100, Mr. Brandon Boyd.
Thank you, Jamaica. Appreciate it, bro.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like those numbers. Perfect. So we're gonna start with this call. This is a leadership call. The gentleman that I'm about to bring out, he took his time, his time to basically get in this call with us to take us to the next level for 2018 to start in 2019 in a good way. This gentleman, right, has impacted millions and millions of people in the world. Okay, this gentleman, right? Not only he's a chairman 100, gonna be chairman 250. He's on his way to impacting and educate millions and millions of people all around the world. Okay, so if I was you, take some notes because this man, what he's about to drop is knowledge, 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 knowledge. Okay, Mr. Vandenboyd, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me on your end?
Perfect, perfect.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, first of all, Jonathan, I appreciate you having me on, guys. I am definitely pumped to be on this leadership call. We do these every single Monday, and just grateful to be on here, guys. This is an amazing time of the year. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to share 3 different things with you tonight. If you're in a position to do so, make sure and take notes because I'm going to go fast, and I'm going to give you straight nuggets tonight. There's no hype. There's no cheerleading. There's no BS. I'm going to give you straight information that will change your situation. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys tonight is about social media. By the way, if you guys can, make sure you mute your phones on your end. I'm going to talk about social media, all right, because this is absolutely critical. Look, I've enrolled over 700 people inside this company. That's personals, okay? That's not my team. That's just personal enrollments, over 700 people, all right? So the first thing that you need to do on your social media, you need to clean it up, all right? You got to cleanse your current content, all right? By the way, Jonathan, I don't know if that's you on your end, but make sure mute, or if you see anybody else on there, make sure they're mute. But you got to cleanse your current contact. You got to remove questionable pictures, all right? And some of you know what I'm talking about. You got to remove negative people. All right, so, okay, go ahead and, Jonathan, can you go ahead and make me the host? And then we're going to do a mute all. Want to make sure mute out all the back, because I want to make sure there's nothing in the background. If Kevin, if you want to make me the host, I can actually go, okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody else out, and that way we have no background noise. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. There we go. All right, perfect. So you got to clean up your social media, because your social media is just what's going to help you to recruit new people. It doesn't matter if they want to trade. It doesn't matter if they want to build a business or what. Your social media is going to be the major key. I don't care if it's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or whatever. You've got to remove negative people. You've got to not talk about politics. You've got not to, express your quote, your opinions about controversial subjects, all right, controversial content, because all that's going to do is get more people, antagonistic people, coming on your post. If you want to do that, create a separate account that's personal, and you can argue and you can fight with people all you want. But if you want to go chairman, if you guys want to be a 6, 7, and 8-figure trader, you've got to clean up your social media, because that is how people are going to judge you. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but everybody does. After you clean up, then what you want to do is you want to rebuild. Guys, the first impression is key, all right? Again, we say don't judge a book by its cover, but everybody does. So when they come, guess what? When somebody tries to friend request me, it doesn't matter if it's they want to, message me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, guess what I do? I first look at their profile photo, and then I look at the about, and I decide if that's the kind of person I want to be connected with. So first impression is the key. You got to have a clean cover photo, clean profile picture, and a good bio. If you need help with that, find someone on the team who's good with social media. Then what you want to do is you want to post at prime times. I post about twice a day, prime times, and you want to do it consistently. It'd be no different than if you ran, a McDonald's or a Walmart or whatever. You want to be consistent in your posts, consistent in your marketing, and then you want to consider the behaviors of your following, people that are actually looking at your stuff. So again, first you want to clean up, and then you want to start rebuilding your social media. All right, you can look at Alex Morton as an example. You can look at Jason Brown as an example. You can look at Matt Rosa as an example. You can go to my profile and look at the type of stuff that we are putting on our social media and duplicate that same kind of thing. I'm not saying steal the content. I'm just saying make sure that the type of information that you put on yours is information that people are going to want to see, that's going to want to attract them to do what you say that you're going to do, okay? You also want to be creative, and you want to be consistent, because look, the bottom line is this: content is going to come from a million different angles, all right? You want to not overthink. You don't want to copy and paste. You want to innovate, and you want to create. So what I do is I let personal development, I let music and brainstorming become my source for consistent content. That's why ideas for what I want to post for the day come by what I listen to and read in the morning. Ideas pop in my head. This is what I want to share today. This is something on my heart. This is something that came to my mind. How? You're constantly listening to good information or reading good information that gives you ideas as to what you can post. And you want to try to incorporate pictures, okay? That's why Instagram is so powerful, is because people love pictures and videos, because they really do the speaking for you more so than the words, okay? So try and use maybe more pictures and video than you do just text, all right? You also want to offer less hype and more value. So you want to under-promise and over-deliver with your content, all right? You want to be authentic. And the reason why I say that so passionately, be authentic, is people want real. If they knew that you did this in high school, now all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to make $1 million a month. Guys, I'm all for you having lofty goals and saying, I've got my why now. But remember, be authentic, because people want the real deal. They want more value, and they want less hype. Like, don't be afraid to show your passion. Passion is the juice. People are attracted to passionate people. When they come to my page, I can tell you, people feel inspired when they come to my page, because I post things that are uplifting, things that are inspiring, things that help people to live a better life. That's why I run Morning Motivation 5 days a week, all right? Is because I want to help inspire people to live a better life. And guess what? I do it for free. And out of that free content comes great business. Give value genuinely. So every day, my goal is in some way to put value out there in someone's life or into the marketplace, all right? And you can do it for free. Don't be a shark. Be a fisherman. See, on social media, you're kind of like reeling people in, but a lot of people are out there like a shark with their teeth trying to go after people. You don't want to do that, all right? You also want to build a following. So whether it's on Facebook, add 5 to 10 new people per day. That's a whole training in itself. I do have a social media training that is on the IML corporate app under resources that you guys can look at. Instagram, you can follow 20 to 30, new people per day. I have an Instagram service that I use as well. Unfollow those who don't follow back. You want to target like-minded individuals. It could be real estate agents, commission-based thinkers. It could be finance-based thinkers. It could be business owners, fitness enthusiasts, experienced network marketers, and that kind of stuff. You got to make your intention be not to recruit, but rather to build a following and give value. Don't worry about the money up front. Don't worry about all the recruits up front. Build a following by giving value. That's how you're going to do it, because the right people who like your style, remember this, guys, they will always attract their way to your leadership and style. Look, not everyone's attracted to my leadership and style. They might be attracted to your leadership and style, okay? Now, fortune is in the follow-up. When people engage, you got to reach out. You've got to build a relationship. You know, people are like, I'm just going to do internet marketing. That's great. But remember, this is a relationship business. You've got to engage, you've got to reach out, and you've got to build a relationship. You know, it's the old thing. They say form, you know, where are you from? Occupation, recreation, motivation. You know, that still works today. People, they more, you know, people care more about you actually caring about them. They love to talk about themselves. So ask people questions, send voice notes, you know, give conviction, be passionate about what you're doing. Let your content do the following up for you. All right. That content is going to remind people that you are the kind of person that they want to do business with. And then, you know, you got to have a long-term plan, guys, on social media. You got to scale up as you go. You got to do Facebook Lives. If you say, I don't really like getting in front of the camera, that's fine, but you will never get to where you want to be in this type of business if you don't do those kind of things that are a little uncomfortable, right? Facebook Lives, they create engagement. Instagram stories, you know, different graphics you come up with. If you're not good at that stuff, find somebody who is. You know, fan pages, ads, you know, Michael H. Martin. Find out some of that kind of stuff that people are doing that are being successful. You don't have to reinvent the wheel when the wheel has already been created. All right. Now, second thing that I wanted to talk about, that I want to make sure that you guys have, you know, and Jonathan wanted me to talk about the system, you know, the system on really what I do, what our team does, you know, to be successful. Look, I can show you guys right on my phone, the corporate app. If you pull up the iMail corporate app, we have a very simple system. It has a fast start tab right there. Guys, you got to realize that systems are duplicatable, people are not, okay? You got to focus on being an events and tools-driven individual. And I'm going to say that again because you guys need to understand this. You got to focus on being an events and tools-driven individual. Sometimes you're trying to be the whole deal. Well, guess what? You're not duplicatable when you do that, all right? So, for example, if you got a question, I always say, great, we got a video right on such and such. And that way, you know, if you're answering all the questions, you're going to halt your own duplication because they're going to always come to you. Always use tools in the events. So I focus on getting customers and IBOs to events. I just talked about this today with one of my business partners, George Wright III. George Wright III, Chairman 10. And I said, look, if you really, when I say you, I mean we together, all right? If you really want to make it happen, it's events. It's all about events. Why? Because the experts inform at the events. That's why you want to get people to events, is because it's that third-party validation, okay? The other thing that we do as part of the system inside the corporate app is we get people set up in the first 24 to 72 hours. Guys, I signed up 7 people last week. I wish it was this week because of our new incentive that we have going on in the company. But I get them set up in the first 24 to 72 hours. All of those people I signed up. Why? Because it's critical for retention and it's critical for duplication. Guys, you don't do what works, you do what duplicates, all right? You got to make sure that when you bring on a new customer that you get them set up every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I do a training. It's called Your First 72 Hours. It's a 20-minute training. It gets everyone off and running, the 90-day game plan, get set up a MetaTrader for your demo account, all that stuff. It is all there. You want to focus on helping customers as part of the system get a what? A free membership. You want to make it where no one should have to pay for anything, right? How do they do that? Share with 2. Where do I send them to? WhatisIML.com. Guys, that site has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. My videos alone on IML have 9 million views, guys. So obviously somebody's watching them. We have the presentation right there. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're releasing our webinar series. And that webinar series is going to play twice a day, 2 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, twice a day, 7 days a week with myself and Jason Brown and Matt Rosa, Manny, and others that get on there and do the presentation for your prospects. Guess what that is? It's called the system. You let us do all the hard work, the heavy lifting for you. All you do is invite. Now, guys, the last piece that I want to talk about, and when I'm done here, I want to make sure that Jonathan can, ask me questions if you've got some questions so I can make sure and get those answered. But he was talking about really how do you really develop leaders on your team? How do you really develop leaders on your team? How do you become a leader? Well, some of the major keys, you got to have a huge vision. That should be created in the first 48 hours. And then you got to embrace the fact that product knowledge has nothing to do with performance. You don't have to know everything about the bounce back strategy in order to be successful from day one. You got to embrace the fact that compensation plan knowledge, everything you need to know about the ranks, has nothing to do with performance. What you need to do to become a leader and develop other leaders is you set a daily routine. We call it the daily rituals, right on the Daily Mastermind app. Set a daily routine that you commit to, all right? A daily routine that you commit to. We have the Chairman Tracker right on the Daily Mastermind app. If you guys don't have it, download the Daily Mastermind app. It's free, and on the bottom tab it has your Chairman Tracker has rituals. It's a rituals tab, and you guys can use that. You got to create a simple training site. We've already got it, but you can just use the corporate app. You've got to realize, too, that, don't get stressed out as a leader if people don't meet your expectations. Here's the reality, and I'm going to be positive with you guys and 100% direct. Most people will not meet your expectations, okay? You're going to think this guy's going to kill it. Well, you find in this business, those who you think will, won't. Those who you think won't, will, all right? What happens when people get all stressed out when this new person they brought in, doesn't meet their expectations, they get depressed. And it's a killer for wannabe leaders because some start enrolling people out of stress because they've got that monthly fee to pay. And what happens is they start to actually chase people. So here's the key. Until you have a team, all right, until you have a team, commit to hitting your own numbers or none of the other steps matter. So for example, what do you mean by numbers? That's 5 to 10 contacts a day, or it could be the 2 a day, like on the daily rituals for the part-timers. I'm going to reach out to 2 people a day, 7 days a week, at least 6 days a week, 5, 6 days a week. 2 people a day. Everyone can do that. Whether it's social media, you get them on a webinar, watch a video, or whatever the case may be. How do you think I got those people signed up? Reaching out to people. Guys, it is not what works. It's what duplicates. You have to use and apply what duplicates to the masses. Spend time asking questions of those who have the leadership that you desire. So if you find different leaders in the company that you really want to emulate and be like, ask questions. One of the mistakes some people make when they come and see me at these conventions, they come up to me, they introduce themselves, and they tell me all about themselves and everything that they're doing. And I'm thinking to myself, and guys, I'm always cordial, always nice. You know that I'll spend time, take photos, shake hands, give hugs. What you should do is say, Brandon, what is one thing that I could do to change my business the next 6 months? See, asking a question for wisdom, Solomon was known as the wisest man who ever lived. All right? It is greater to get wisdom. It said, in all thy getting, get wisdom. That's what the good book said, right? So you want to ask questions from those who have the leadership that you desire. You also want to schedule learning time every single day. So I got all the books behind me, and man, every day at pretty much the same exact time, 4:30 in the morning. All right? And that's considering, guys, I got 6 children, so some of you got no excuse out there, right? I get up. I'm up, and I'm doing my personal development. So schedule learning time every single day. If you're not a morning person, then do it, whether it's on the lunch hour or at night. Just get it done and be consistent with your time. Remember, you got to have rituals that you stick to and you commit to on a daily basis. Get better speaking and presenting. If you're like, I don't really want to be up there, then you'll never make the amount of money that you want to make. Of course, you're not going to feel comfortable at first. I didn't want to get in front of the crowd, and then I realized if I want to live a certain kind of life, I have to be willing to do certain things that I don't feel comfortable doing. And what is at first, kind of uncomfortable begins to be comfortable. All right, this is easy to do now. Okay, it becomes second nature. Now, when you're going through a slump, again, this is all about leadership on this segment that I'm teaching you here. Okay, when you're going through a slump, understand, and this is for some of you watching this right now. Like, you guys got to understand, when you're going through a slump, understand that it is a direct correlation to how much value that you are putting into the marketplace and how many people you are talking to. Let's be real. I mean, that's just the realness right there. It is a direct correlation to how much value that you are putting into the marketplace and how many people you're talking to. You want to turn around your organization? Talk to more people, period. Stay in phase one like China talked about last night. Phase one is enroll new blood. New blood is the lifeblood of your business. What you lack in skill, you guys are going to make up for numbers. Don't get so tied up in tech coming out, with a perfect video, right? Like, this is a people business. It's not a tech business. The amount of B-roll that you have in your videos, all right, has little to do with success. I mean, like, it helps, but the reality is how you connect people, how you connect with people, guys, is the key. That is the key to developing yourself as a leader, as well as the other leaders that you have and that you want to bring on as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it back over to Jonathan and Kevin. Let me bring Kevin up here. I think, all right, Kevin, I'm going to turn the host back to you. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me on this leadership call, I've gone ahead, Kevin and Jonathan made you guys the host. So feel free. And I know that we have only a certain amount of time before it expires.
Perfect. First of all, drop a 1-1 if you got all this knowledge. I took notes. No takers are money makers. Yes, sir. Drop a 1-1. Wow, fire. Pretty much, I want to say thank you, Mr. Brandon Boyd, for this call. Right now, I just want to ask anybody 3 questions, really 3 good questions that you have for Mr. Brandon Boyd. I know he doesn't have too much time, but if you can write them down, 3 questions, and he'll answer them.
Also, Brandon, now that we're on the topic as well, I did want to ask you something in regards to, when you're launching your team. I think that's a very important step, specifically because you say launching within the first 24 to 72 hours, right? Like, what happens when you have like a mass launch? Like, what things that you have in place when you have, let's say, for example, you have 7 people in your business. Let's say 7 people are already in like one fixed location. Maybe they came in from one individual. What do you do when you have to have like a mass launch, like something very quick, something that could, have everybody like be there? What's a simple way that you could kind of, solve that issue?
If those people are local, I have them come together and I do a fast start training. All right. If they're not local, I actually get on a Zoom webinar with them and we talk for about 10 minutes as part of the 90-day game plan. I talk and really get to know them. And I actually do a training right there with them. And I launch them, I show them what to do. And then also there's the Saturday training webinar. I have them commit to be onto that as well. So if they're local, you definitely want to meet with them and have them together. Why? Because it's going to create synergy. You're going to create that local team right there. So if they're local, always you want to meet and do the fast start training right there. Like the office I'm in right now, we do our fast start trainings here. If they're local, we want that hands-on, because again, you want them to be coming together. And that's kind of the glue, the cement that keeps everybody together.
Definitely. And actually, now you mentioned it, quick question. Can you repeat the schedule that you actually have those online resources available for us to be able to actually reach out and use for our advantage?
Yes. So a couple things. You'll see on the corporate app, we have the events tab, and that events tab has a lot of the different webinars that, that I do or they're going on in corporate. Also, if you guys want to jump in on some of the trainings that I do, I'm actually going to put my Telegram link. I'll drop it in here so that you guys can actually see the different trainings. Like tomorrow, just so you guys know, I have a huge training going on tomorrow. So let me go ahead and put this in here, because tomorrow, guys, as part of the system, we're releasing a webinar system that plays twice a day, 7 days a week, has myself, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, like only the like top chairman on there that do the presentations. When you guys see the system, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, dude, this is amazing. All right. Like if people are gonna be like, I'm just gonna do my own thing, you can do your own thing. It just won't be as effective as what is already working. So when you guys see it tomorrow, I'll post it there in the Telegram chat. It's at 6 Eastern. If you can't be on, I always record my trainings, so you guys will get the recording of that as well.
Nice. Actually, not over there. I see that we don't really have too many questions on here, but I'm going to take the free time to maybe ask a couple myself. I know that we do have some really strong leaders in the organization, and I actually just kind of wanted to bring up, I know for the most part, a lot of us want to be able to grow internationally, right? A lot of us want to be able to expand our business. And I think that's a dream for all of us, people who are actually looking to become, chairman, P5000, and above, getting to that feat. But, what do you consider an appropriate time for you to actually start making those pushes, right? Because I know a lot of people try to get a little bit too ahead of themselves. But what do you think is a good time frame for you to actually start making those leaps, to not deteriorate your business and what you've built by being away from your team and things like that? Like, what do you recommend?
So they have a saying, build local to go global. So you build your local team first. You've always got, like, for me, the home team is always here in Utah because I live here. So we consistently have a couple meetings a week. And then I have international stuff going on. And I tell people, look, don't be traveling to, different countries and spending a lot of money until you really start to establish, a team. Because what you want to do is establish a leader that's there in that area. If it's a leader of only 5 people, it's a leader of 5 people. And then you commit them to get to a certain group size before you actually come out. I actually have a whole training on how to actually build international, because I have teams in 60 countries. I'd be happy to give that training to you guys as well.
Definitely. I would love that. That would be actually a really, really great resource to have, man. I appreciate that. How much longer would we have to be able to work? To 11? Yeah. All right. Well, honestly, how much?
2 more minutes. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
This is your time now, guys. This is a Chairman 100, going to be a Chairman 250. Okay?
Super great resource we have.
This is a blessing. We don't get this a lot, honest truth. So, guys, take your time.
Anybody else? Well, for the most part, honestly, I think we were. All right.
By the way, I'm putting that training, the global training, guys. Before this closes down, I'm going to put the link in there right now. Okay. I have the global training on how to build international. I just stuck it in there, the link. So grab that link. That's a specific training I did on how to build global teams.
Perfect. Actually, look, I see a question that I actually really like. I think a lot of us, when it comes down to offering the business, one thing that I think for the most part, some of us tend to maybe not struggle with, but we could definitely learn to perfect, is how to close. But what do you recommend, like, when actually closing a prospect? First and foremost, like, I think something I struggle with is, do you close them on the spot? Do you wait? Like, what things do you kind of read off of the individual to see, is this the right time or do I wait?
Yeah. So I know we only have like 30 seconds left. So what I'll do is I actually have a really phenomenal training I did on how to close more prospects. I'm going to give you the image and I'm going to give you the video. Guys, we're going to blast this out. Okay. I'll put it inside of the Telegram chat. I'll send it directly to you guys on Facebook Messenger. Because look, closing prospects is the key. I mean, that's how you grow your team. So I'm definitely pumped to have been on here, guys, on the leadership call again. Every Monday we do these, and looking forward to having you guys again. So Jonathan and Kevin, I really appreciate you for having me on here tonight.
Honestly, brother, I appreciate you for getting on.
Yes,
you're very, your time's very valuable, and you have a lot of things to do that you could be doing on this beautiful Monday. But honestly, brother, thank you so much for your time. Yeah, Jonathan.
Well, thank you so much. I want to say thanks to the leaders for hopping in this call, and from there, straight to the top. Thank you, Mr. Brandenburg.
All right, we'll see you guys at the top. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
You too.
Have a good one.